Moi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Jules. And we're doing the whole thing again.
Yeah, because none of it recorded. None of it recorded.
Oh, the whole thing didn't record.
No,
Oh, what's this about? A short podcast?
yeah,
2 hours to do a 10-minute
yeah.
recording.
To do the intro. Here we go.
So,
Taas JK, joukkueeni on aika huivit ylös nostaa. SJK, ei me luovuteta koskaan, ei koskaan. SJK, jos et tajunnut tosta, niin se on Seinäjoen jalkapallokerho. SJK, ja muita joo, eikä tuu, se on meidän kerho. Pallo keskelle.
Moi, I'm Mark.
and I'm still Jules. And this is the Seinäjoki Football Supporters Podcast, bringing you news, reviews, and interviews from SJK Seinäjoki.
But we're doing it in English for an international fan base because we have some fans around the world. So, Jules, what are we talking about this week?
Well, it's pretty much the same normal things, Mark, but today we got a special in-depth review of all recent SJK goals.
Right, so shorter show then.
Yeah, we'll be over in 30 seconds, I think. Yeah. No guest this time, but we do have a guest lined up for the next episode, so that would be good.
Yeah, it's a special guest, and maybe we're recording this interview in person. So, Glenn, if you're watching or listening, we might need some help with this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we start usually with a shout out, and you received a very nice compliment yesterday. So,
Yeah. So something strange. The shout out's actually coming from me because normally the shout outs all come from Mark's conversations in the toilet. But
no
no.
hands.
Shout out to Leena Autio and all the other Autios, of course. Like at one time, Marko was the second oldest Klopit.
Does that mean he's now the oldest?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay, there's
I
older.
mean, like back in the day when the Klopit were young guys, then Marko was the second oldest one of those.
But now the age range is from about 15 up to 70.
Yeah, must be or more.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
Yeah, but we're not mentioning Aleksi because he never listens.
That's
Aleksi
rude.
Autio. Yeah,
That's
yeah, it
rude.
is. Yeah.
It would have been a bit off, Jules, if you'd had this meeting with Leena in the toilets on Aspie Stadium. One of you would have gone wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I think yeah, there'd be lawsuits being taken there, I think. Yeah.
Um,
Right. Should we move on to the news?
yeah, and the first one is big news, not surprising maybe, but really positive for the club, and that's that Kelvin Pires is going to the World Cup.
Yeah, and it was interesting we were talking on the terrace yesterday before the game. Tell us more what it actually means financially for SJK.
Right, I've got a little bit of insight to this. I don't know the actual numbers, but during the last World Cup that was held at Christmas time, Wimbledon had Chris Gunter, who was playing for Wales, and he got called up to the squad and was away for, well, not that long because Wales didn't get that far, but he was away from the club for maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And I think Wimbledon earned about $300,000 out of that. And like the finances there, they're bigger, but still 300,000 makes a difference. It sort of leveled 3 or 4 in the UK. So I suspect it'll be something similar.
So what you were saying yesterday, I can't remember if it was you or if it was
It
Yvonne.
wasn't me, no.
Okay, was that 10,000 S the club gets paid by FIFA approximately 10,000 euros for every day the player is away from the club.
That sounds about right. And it
Yeah.
includes the training time beforehand as well. So the moment they join up with the national team through to when they leave. So if you've got a player who's likely to get to the final, then perhaps you're looking at, I don't know, 50 days. But
But
if
if
it's
you've
if it's
Yeah,
someone
30
who's going to
days,
get
if we
knocked
say
out in the
30
first
days
stage,
for the first round, all the training camp. So that's $300,000, euros,
yeah,
whatever, but
yeah.
that's a significant amount of money
It
for
is
our
at this
club.
level. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's right. That's exactly right. I hadn't even really started to think about that. But yeah, you're right. It's important. But also for me, it's a bit like earlier in the year at the AFCON where we had a couple of players actually on the pitch playing against, well, they both played against Mo Salah. Like this
Yeah.
is this is big for the player. It's big for the profile of our club as well.
I don't know who Cape Verde have got in their group. We should research this.
I'll have have a look. Hold the line, viewer and
Do,
listener.
do, 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 do. Background music. Yep. And I can say, while Mark is researching this, there's uh, one player that won't be going with SJK is SJK and Gabriel Oxenen have dissolved their contract, and Oxenen goes back to the USA. He mainly played for the academy, but also played some games for the first team, so he's no longer an SJK player. And in Cape Verde's group are
It's a tough one.
okay,
Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia.
okay,
That's
yeah,
tough. That's tough.
that is tough.
I know the Saudi Pro League has kind of got this, Arrivist sort of reputation of sort of signing up big players on big money in recent years. But all my life, I can remember Saudi Arabia being at the World Cup. They're a football nation.
Yeah,
And, they're not great necessarily, but Cabo Verde is a tiny,
yeah,
tiny country, tiny population. They're going to have their work cut out, but if Kelvin gets on the pitch at the World Cup, that's incredible. That's amazing.
yeah. Imagine playing against Spain.
Not making
That'd
this
be
all
something.
about me again, but
You
being a
once played
Wimbledon
against Spain?
fan, Robbie Earle played at the World Cup for Jamaica and scored, and just amazing. Just amazing. Like to see a player from your small club on that stage.
Yeah,
And Kelvin's got a header in him
yeah,
from set pieces. So,
yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen it in recent weeks, but we'll come on to that shortly.
Yeah. Good luck,
But
Kelvin.
yeah, Kelvin,
Hope it goes well.
we're behind you all the way,
Yep.
and maybe we'll arrange a little chat after the World Cup and get his views on it.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be good. More news. It's not going well for the academy in the league. They're ninth place out of 10, with 5 points, and the last win of the league was the opening game of the season.
They're
But they
on a
are in
level.
the sixth round of the cup.
Yes, and I think that's important. I mean, their league form is on a level with the first team, to be
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Um,
Exactly. Our win was it first? No, second game, first home game, wasn't it?
and
Our win.
obviously the next match that we have is the Suomen Cup sixth round, academy versus first team, because they won't let.
SJK is going to win, and SJK team will win.
They will.
That's it might be on penalties. It might be on
I was going to
penalties,
say
but
it's
an
going to be
SJK
0-0
team
and then
will win.
penalties.
Yeah.
Um, but what is worth saying is the academy has had a harder draw every round than the first team. When the first team's been playing someone from the third, Kolmanen or whatever, then the academy's been playing someone from Kokkonen and all the way through. And of course, in this round, they've got a higher, more difficult draw than the first team as well.
Yeah. So let's look, unfortunately, at the recent results.
Yes, let's do that. We spoke with Casper just before the KuPS game, and one thing he said that stuck in my head was because we asked him when are things going to click, and he said against KuPS on Friday. And I mean, I think it's there's click and there's click. Going away to KuPS and getting a 0-0 draw is okay for
It's a
us.
point gained,
Yes, it is a point
especially
game.
at the moment. Especially at the moment, it's a point gained. It's a very useful point.
And KuPS
I
again are near the
think
top of the table, so that's 2 points nicked off of them as well.
I tried to. I put this into AI about when was the things, and SJK have done much better in Kuopio on AI than in reality. Uh, but I
I've said
didn't
this
go through
before,
all the. Yeah,
Chat GPT is a bullshitter.
yeah. I didn't go through all the games. I couldn't find the things, but if I remember correctly, we have won once there. We have won once in Kuopio, and I think we have 3 draws, and that's since 2014. So that's another draw is a good thing because it's more than what we normally get there.
Yeah, and I think that the performance was better. It was tough for the first half an hour or so, and we held them out, and then I think we got into the game more
Yeah,
and more.
yeah,
Um,
that's right. Cubs had
you
better chances and more chances to score than we did, but yeah, we once we got into the game, we kind of held them off, and we had our chances as well, but not as good as theirs.
the big talking point from this game was Raul Pipaunio's red card in the 88th minute. He came out of his box, um, challenged a forward who was coming down sort of the right side of the pitch, fouled him, but there was a covering defender.
Yep. And also, the player was going away from the goal. You know what I mean? He was on
Towards
the edge of the box.
towards the corner flag, that sort of direction. He
Yeah,
was
but
fouled
not.
outside the box, but Samuel Chukwudi was coming round.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we couldn't say he's the last man. So and wasn't a clear goal scoring. Well, I suppose it wasn't a clear goal
No,
scoring
I don't think
opportunity.
it was a clear goal scoring opportunity. Not from there.
Yeah,
Not from there. In that position, in that direction, with the covering defenders.
yeah. I can
And
see why it was given though. I mean, the referee makes a decision in a split second. I can see why it is given, and those have been given before. But like looking back on replays, then I think a red is a bit harsh. But we don't want to look back on replays during the game. VAR, no, thank you.
no,
Yep.
quite right. Quite
We'll
right.
take the red card. Yep.
Yeah,
Over VAR.
yeah, and you're right. It looked quite dramatic.
Yeah.
But that has obviously then meant that Rope is out for the next. I think is it 2 games he's banned from the Veikkausliiga.
Yeah, so
Um,
so he'll be available for the next game.
yeah, and he also missed the Suomen Cup game at home to PEPO that we'll come on
He
to.
was on the bench.
Yeah, okay, no, yeah. What I was thinking is that he
Yeah,
was maybe.
it was giving Johannes Viitala a chance to well bed himself into the
Yes,
team really.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I meant. So he missed that game through team selection, but it gave Viitala that warm up, if you
yeah.
like.
Which was on the Tuesday, the 12th of May. SJK won 3-0 against PEPO Lappeenranta, and I think it was the worst 3-0 home win ever.
This was funny. You mean in front of that massive crowd of 1,790 people?
And a
Honestly.
lot of those were hiding behind the what is it, 250 it looked like were there. So
Yeah, I mean, I would say 200, 250. That was to see that number. Of course, it's the modern day thing of counting the season tickets that have been sold
yeah,
plus any walk-ups, but there weren't many walk-ups.
yeah. So
We have a friend in the ticket office, and she wasn't
you
very
have
busy that day.
a relative in the
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. And they
yeah.
weren't very busy that day. We always go and wave to Evie in the ticket box before the game. It's part of my pre-match ritual.
Maybe we
And
should stop. Maybe we get more luck if we don't.
well, do you know what,
Maybe it's
Jules?
affecting the performance on the pitch.
She's moving away to study in the summer. So from August onwards, we might not have a good luck
Yeah,
mascot down there.
that's true. Yeah.
We're
Well,
gonna have
good
to
luck,
go
Evie.
start.
Yep.
We have to find Ronja and go and start waving to Ronja wherever she's working. Um, yeah, but
Yeah,
it had the vibe. I mean, there weren't many people there. There weren't many of us in the Klopit area, maybe 20. And it had the vibe of a kind of Liga Cup game where we
yeah,
were having a chat and messing around with our friends while a game of football went on.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and that kind of messing around with our friends included the Peppo goalkeeper as well.
Yeah. We were started to give him a hard time, but then didn't bother in the end when he started replying to us and saying that he's got to be back at work the next day, kind of thing. So
Yeah, exactly. And
you know,
it was mostly like good natured. It was banter. It was
yeah,
joking around. It's a bit like the sort of thing we used to do with Callum Ward when he came down
yeah,
with Oulu back in the
yeah.
day.
But
And
good to him. I think he did a good performance as a keeper. That's like yeah,
and the best thing to do when in that situation is just smile. Because
yeah,
then what? If you think it's a joke, then
yeah,
they'll carry on, but there won't be the malice in it. If you get
yeah,
annoyed, then the crowd know they've got to you.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Exactly. Keep you doing it. Yeah,
he did well there. Um,
yeah,
we scored 3 goals. We also had a penalty in this game.
yeah. Gasper missed it over the bar. Yeah.
I filmed it on my phone. I didn't have the heart. I didn't have the heart to send it to him the
Lu-
day after. I thought he'd be
Lucky it didn't
annoyed
hit your
enough.
phone.
Yeah, I think he can stay there. He can stay there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
but we had quite a run of home games then because we went a week ago home game against Turku, Inter Turku, and
Yeah.
we lost.
And
It
it
was
started well.
Ashiko 1, Turku 3.
SEK won.
No,
Oh,
one,
oh,
one.
okay. Yeah, one, one.
ONE, one.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, yeah, right at the start, though, we had a good chance. Like Tessalimi's low cross across the face of goal, but Sukuso could not convert, and that's the could not convert is a theme that's running through this. I mean, it's not like we're not creating chances. Maybe we could be creating better chances, but we're not converting any chances that we create. So
yeah. No, it's true, and it's not just Sousa. I mean, he's had a
no,
couple, one in each of these last two games that you think that should go in,
yeah,
but he's not the only one. So it's
no,
not
no.
a blame thing necessarily, but and then they scored in the fourth minute. Like it
Yeah,
was.
and
Go on.
we'll whisper this in case anyone's watching, any scouts are watching for the World Cup players. But Kelvin Pires' loose pass, it released straight to a KuPS player across the field, and it led to a one-on-one to the centre forward, which went under, I believe, or through
Or it went maybe
Jonas
through his
Viitala,
legs as he
through his
came
legs.
out towards the.
Yeah, I wonder if Paunio would have saved it because he's good with his legs, Paunio. But then, yeah,
I have to say though, I don't think that that's a problem with Viitala because he's saved two, three, four in the last
yeah,
couple of
I
games
think
with his
I think
legs.
that
So
I think that the two, yeah, I mean, on that situation, you would fancy the striker to put it away.
yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
should
definitely.
be.
Yeah,
Unless they've
yeah.
got a black and gold shirt on, then it's maybe 50-50.
Yeah,
Um,
you're optimistic.
yeah. And then in the eighth minute, we're 2-0 down.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was from a free kick, which I don't think was a free kick, really. It's like didn't really, I can't remember, don't I watched it the other day and didn't look like he caught him much. So yeah, Uli scored from a free kick, and possibly there you can blame a little bit, or people are blaming Viitala, that the wall was in the wrong place and it went round the wall and into the goal. So
I think that's fair on this occasion because I was standing there and I think it was Dormus who, friend of the show, Dormus, who was on with us last year. We were saying there's a lot of space that side.
yeah,
And literally, as the words came out of my mouth, the ball hit the back of the net. And we just looked at each other like, damn, we saw it. Why didn't
yeah.
others see it?
I said to Billy before that, if this goes in, this can be a real nightmare. We're looking at getting 4 or 5 nil. So I really feared the worst after that. But credit to SJK, they kept going, kept plugging away, and kind of dominated the game after that. Okay, you're 2-0 down. The other team's not, pushing so much, so hard. But I mean, what I'm saying is we could have caved and we didn't.
No, that's true. And not long after, we had a really good opportunity to get back into the game. Sousa was brought down in the box. He was a foul. I've watched it
Yeah.
again this morning, and it was a foul. Casper was on the pitch but didn't take this penalty. It went to Rangel instead, and it was a poor penalty.
Yeah. It was savable height. Savable height, not too far from the keepers. It was down to the keeper's right. So penalty taker's left. And also there was the chance to get the rebound, but we botched that as well. So
Well, I thought that, but again, I watched it this morning, and the defender got in and got a really good toe to it to clear it. Like we had
yeah,
two forwards going towards it, and he was a big defender and just got his leg in the way.
yeah, it's true. But the penalty taker is always going to be, what is it, 5 yards closer than the nearest defender.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But it didn't it
If
didn't
it's
go
if it's a
too like he
rebound, that
wasn't.
kind of,
Sorry, go on.
yeah, if it's a rebound, then you would fancy the penalty taker to get there first, and to get there first at least.
Yeah,
So
I thought that the ball bounced not towards Rangel, or because he's running in, he's hit the ball and he's
yeah,
carried on moving, and the ball
yeah,
hasn't
that's
bounced
true.
straight back to him. And I
Yeah,
can't remember who was running in, but the defender was just. It looked like a bad miss from the stands, but then on TV, I think you'd be praising one of our defenders if they
yeah,
got that.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You'd be praising one of our defenders, or you'd be praising the defender rather than, So you're by doing that, you're thinking that the striker should be putting it away.
And you said about dominating, and I've got some stats here, as you know, in our prep. Hey, we prepare for this. People won't believe
Yeah.
it, but we do
Mm,
prepare for this.
mm, mm.
And we we had 53% of the possession, 359 accurate passes compared to 333 for them. 25 shots, 10 on target. They saved nine saves from the keeper. Now that's not shots, being blocked or going wide or whatever. Nine saves in a
Yeah, the
game like
keeper
that.
did win the
Hultner
man
had
of
a
the
great
match.
game.
Yeah, he won man of the match.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he should do. And watching it back, really frustrating because some of one there was one that was classed as a double save, and he made one save from a shot on the edge of the box, and then the ball fell to Jari Streng, and the keeper's laying down, having made the first save.
Yeah,
And there are defenders around. It's not like an open goal, but there's space, and the ball hits the goalkeeper again. It's like
yeah,
that's a chance. That's a
yeah,
chance. Um,
yeah. And so we're just not clinical enough. Unlike Clinton Yepta in the 57th minute for them, he took his chance well, and that was 3-0. So yeah,
yeah, and yet we still had chances at the end. We scored with a consolation goal from Elias Mastokangas
yeah,
on the 90th minute, and then still with like I think we played 5.5 minutes of added time in the end. Um, we had another opportunity as well that could have easily been 3-2, and with the penalty, we weren't out of this, and
no,
this is the thing. We're not.
we don't
We've
look
said it before.
rubbish.
We're not
We don't,
playing
we don't, we
bad
don't look
football.
rubbish. Yeah, we
No,
don't look rubbish.
but we
We
don't
just
look
can't score.
effective. We don't look effective up
Yeah.
front, and we look a little bit brittle at the back.
Oh,
And they're two quite big things.
yeah,
There's a lot of good stuff going on in
yeah.
between, but in those moments, we
We look,
don't take our chances.
we look like we concede, and we don't look like we can score, which
Quite a
the
bad
bad thing.
combination in football.
But yeah, but otherwise than that, I mean, it's like we are. It's not like we're when we get the ball, we are going forward with it to an extent. It's okay. It's not like Guinea when we were here and it's just passing it around the back and we got no
Mm,
idea
mm.
what we're doing. At least we're getting towards the box. It's just the last. Well, as Jarkko said in his press conference, it's the last two or three passes are the hardest passes.
Mm, mm.
So yeah,
No, that's fair. Um,
are
there
we
was
are we going to
some.
say about the what was going on in the crowd, or shall we
Yeah, I
skip over
think
that?
no, I think so. I think so. Like there were towards the end shouts or chants of Johtaja ulos, or
Yeah,
like director out, and
yeah,
then that also then changed to be more specific, saying Gabilan ulos, Adriel
yeah,
Gabilan being the director of SJK. It's
yeah,
very strange. It's a very strange job
yeah,
job title,
yeah.
director. It's quite
I think what's happened is like as
vague.
people have left the club, then positions have merged. So we're like a sporting director, and that's just become director. And
Yeah, yeah, and why I think even this morning in what various WhatsApp groups, people are very supportive of Jarkovic, and I
yeah,
think the overall feeling is he he's a successful manager. We know he can win the league. He has a style of playing that's different to Stevie's. So first of
mm.
all, you're trying to adjust the team to fit his style of play, and that maybe the club just hasn't provided the right players for that.
Yeah.
And
You don't go
and
from winning the
Adriel Gabilan
Veikkausliiga
is
to being
the focus of that
yeah,
annoyance.
yeah. You don't go from winning the Veikkausliiga to being a bad manager in 2-3 months. So that there's that,
Yeah.
and yeah, we can't say anything about Raipe. I mean, we owe so much to
Mm.
Raipe, So who is getting it? And so it's yeah, Adriel Gabilan is getting it as the target,
Yeah.
and you can question some of the recruitment, or lack of sales. I mean, if we go into total things that we've talked about this before,
Peanuts.
Stevie leaving and us getting, no significant compensation, having the best goal scorer of the league last season and not being able to find him a buyer. So you can say about if we're just making assumptions about the Portuguese speaking players and teams, staff, then are they, well, as I said, the academy is second from bottom. Murillo was not a success. And yeah, so we can question some of the recruitment as well.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And the point about not selling players is that's the model. The model is sell them,
Yep,
bring them in, build them up, sell them on, and that's how you'll
yep,
attract more and more players into that sausage machine.
yep,
And but only if you squirt them out at the top. If they all get
yep,
stuck there and don't feel they're getting the moves they want, that will start to
yep.
to have an effect.
And we would have got more money for Casper when he was leading goal scorer than Casper, who hasn't scored many goals this season.
What I'm
Although
Go on.
Casper is patchy, he's a patchy player, a patchy striker. He can knock out 3 or 4 goals in the next 2 games.
Especially against Ashley Core Academy. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
I agree. I also think though that people will look not just what's happened in the last 2 months, but what's happened over the last few years and how he's developed. And the fact, okay, he's not in the Finland squad for these next few games coming up, but he's now an international player. That adds a little bit to your saleability. So I think we can sell him, and what we need to do
yeah,
is
but maybe
sell him
for
and
it'd
have
be a
that
couple of
that
hundred
sell on
thousand
fee.
less.
Well, it could do, but then when he moves on, we will just have to make sure that every week we keep the pressure on so that he performs well and we get a good sell-on fee when he's sold on again in the future.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's a little bit of what's been.
Yeah, one
What,
thing I must say after that game, Jokovic did clap the fans almost straight after the game, which is a nice touch, as when we've been soundly beat, and then he was showing his appreciation for the fans, kept going. So
in like last couple of seasons, Stevie and the whole coaching team waited on the pitch. The players went down the end, did the sort of signatures and selfies with the juniors, and then came down to the Klopit end, and that that doesn't happen now. Jarko has come to sort of acknowledge the fans first and then gone off, and it seems like they're doing post-match interviews really quickly at the end of the game. Has
yeah,
that changed?
I think that from what I saw that they were doing one pitch side.
Right.
And
Okay.
then and the one that I watched this morning was in the media room. So maybe they do one straight after the game for Netherlands, no, Netherlands, what is it?
Ruutu.
Ruutu. Yeah. So maybe they do one straight then and then that.
But
But
that wasn't being
um,
done last year. That's what I mean. That's the point I'm
yeah,
making. Like
I
it
think
seems
you're
to be
right. I think you're
different.
right. But I mean, after the game yesterday, Billy and I took the banner down straight away because Billy wanted to get off.
Mm.
But it does take so long for the players to go to the kids the other side and then it's can wait when we've won, but then after another loss, it's like
Yeah, I agree. I agree
credit
with
to
you.
the
I
fans
agree.
who
Yeah.
did stay there, and I feel bad that I didn't stay until the very end and clap them because the players they're doing their best. They're they're keeping going. They're fighting, so you can't level that at them. It's just clinicalness that we're
Yeah.
lacking at the moment, not fight or desire or motivation or anything like that. So
And that carried on into yesterday's game, didn't it? Like this is another game that we dominated, but like in possession wise, but several times Oulu split our defence,
yeah,
just like Inter did. And
yeah.
you talked about Johannes Viitala saving with his legs. He did that a couple of times um, in the early part of the game. And also there was a nice save from Rasse Karjalainen that that for me gets double bonus points because we don't want Arase scoring against us. It was
Yeah.
funny at the start of the game, the first time he came into the penalty box, you shouted out to him, "Not today, thanks, Arase, not today." And I had almost exactly the same thing that I was about to shout, and you got there before me. So yeah,
Yeah.
friend of former friend of the show? No, friend
No,
friend of the show,
no.
but
Yeah, friend
not
of the
that
show. Yeah.
friendly when he's playing against
Yeah.
us.
No, he's always scored against us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Uh,
Jonas Viitala, he had a really good game yesterday. I mean, if you can say some question marks about the first game against Inter, then there were no question marks yesterday. He had a good game. It's some good saves. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and but and there was nothing he could do about the goal. Like it was another one of these. It was the third of these defense splitting passes, and Julius Görke smashed the ball high into the roof. Like I don't think many keepers save that. He doesn't know where it's
Yeah.
going to be hit and hit up there into the roof of the net. It's not much he could have done there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Defending was suspect though. I mean,
yes,
to
it
get
well it
open.
was. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. And like last year, we correct me if I'm wrong, but it feel like we played more often with three centre backs, or did it change? Like Pires, Chukwudi, and
No.
Weister, no,
Yeah, maybe.
or some of the
Maybe.
season anyway. I don't know,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's not how Jarkovic wants to play, clearly. But maybe that would tighten things up for a while
And
and give
also
us a little
we're
bit of a
missing
base to build
a
on.
left back at the moment.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I
that
I thought Arman Wilson came to the club as a midfielder, and when he
yeah, he is,
played
but
last
those
year,
it's just playing now. I mean, and
yes,
again,
yeah.
you can say if we're going to say a criticism from anybody, why haven't we got two left backs? One's injured,
Mm.
so what why don't we have a left back? So it was like Femi put in the SJK international chat group that um that yeah, it's what we really need is a left back, and we don't have it at the moment. And Jakob said in the press conference that he thinks this week Eto Momo will be, who is our left back, will be back in training with the ball, and he will be available for use after the international break. So I mean, hopefully that helps sort out the defense at least.
Yeah, and also you mentioned the WhatsApp group, and it's good because today, for the first time, there's been quite a bit of chat in that group, in our group, about yesterday's game. And Femi also mentioned something that I've been thinking is that Salim Youssef is not the same player as he was last year. And I don't know if that's a form, as Femi says, or if he's being asked to play a different game. If he's being asked to be more of a defensive defender, whereas we know he can be dynamic and get forward
Yeah,
with the ball, but he's not given license to do it. So it's about fitting
yeah,
into a new
or
new way of playing.
he got he's been beaten more times, which he never used to get beaten at all, and so he's losing those kind of things. So yeah, it can be the maybe I think the whole team's confidence
Yeah.
issues going
I think
through
that's
it.
fair.
Like, and when you're confident, you win the 50-50s, and when you're not confident, the ball bounces and to them kind of thing. So
But then
yeah,
yes,
and
yesterday
Samuel Woody's out of form as well. It's like
yes, yeah.
it's yeah, but yeah.
But we made chances yesterday. I made a list of some of the chances that we had,
Because we
and
can't talk about the goals, so we're talking about the
well,
chances.
we have to focus on the positives. And I think actually we've highlighted things about specific players today more than we normally do, and I don't
Yeah.
think we're being hypercritical or hyper negative. We're just kind of pointing out the stuff that happened.
We know these players are good. What we're saying is that we're Samuel and Youssef, and both been on the show, and they're just not right in the form as they have been, and
Yeah,
we know that
that's true.
quality is permanent, form is temporary. So it'll come back.
We had a chance in the 23rd minute. Well, actually, we scored in the 23rd minute, but the whistle had already gone. We heard the whistle blow even from the
Yeah,
other end.
yeah,
But I watched it on TV, and Aroutu showed it 5 or 6 times from different angles. I couldn't see what the foul was.
yeah. So you also asked Yakov is in the press conference after. Did the referee say to you? Have you found out from the referee why the goal was disallowed? And he said that there was a block on the keeper.
Right. Okay. Okay.
which there wasn't. There wasn't if anything, the keeper pushed somebody out of the way and then jumped for the ball and missed it and fell over. Well, in his jump,
Right.
he fell,
Okay.
so he just didn't, he's like Dracula,
Yeah.
scared of crosses.
Oh, dear. I tell you what, you and Billy were trading some old jokes yesterday, and there's another one out of the bottom drawer.
Yeah,
Um, because the whistle went really early as well, so the whistle blew
yeah,
before the ball was in the net, but it was
yeah.
really, yeah, really frustrating. And then,
And that's like we're not getting the bounce of the ball at the moment. That's
yeah,
the whole thing. I mean, it's like the players and the club. I mean, if the goal goes in last week, 2 weeks ago, when it was 0-0 against Inter, and we go 1-0 up, that could be a whole different game.
mm, mm,
If we get it to, well, what's it, 23rd minute? If we still
mm,
go 1-0 up in again in this game, it can be totally different game. It's just that we're not getting any kind of rub of the green, at the moment. It's all going against us.
yeah,
Which
no,
it
that's
happens when
frustrating.
confidence is down and things are when you're down, it just gets worse.
Yeri Streng had a header saved in the first half, just tipped round the post by the keeper. He had another header in the actually Giallo and Streng kind of linked up a little bit during the second half yesterday. Some decent balls coming in. Yeri headed one over the bar, and then another sort of high looping ball from Giallo, and a scissor kick from Streng. Good connection, but he went straight to the keeper. It's like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not
Um,
a criticism. It's just
no,
that
he's
sort of
just trying
shot
to
can
make
go
make a
anywhere.
good
Just how you,
contact. Yeah, yeah, and it
yeah,
just happened to be right at the keeper's head, kind of thing.
yeah,
So
exactly. And
yeah,
he and
so that's the
that
kind of
that
thing. It's they did really well to get a shot off there, and was back to goal, but it's not happening at the moment, is it? So
no, that's exactly right. And I'm sure there was also a missed header from Kelvin Pires that I remember seeing, but it wasn't on the highlights. And again, they're two players who have scored headers this year. Kelvin scored one for Cape Verde against Finland, for example.
yeah,
So they've both got these goals in them, but it's just not quite going right
yeah.
now. I think
Uh,
when it does go, we'll get one game where we score early, and hopefully, I
It's a
believe the
catch-up battle.
confidence will flow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
hopefully.
you mentioned the press conference just now, but you've made a note that it was a interesting press conference with some pertinent questions
Yeah,
from
well,
our
one of
local
the
journalist,
things
Yuso.
we just talked about, Calvin Pires,
Mm.
yeah, they ended up playing him up front.
Yeah,
So
that was what was there a question about that, and what was the
yeah,
answer?
why wasn't Rangel on the bench? And the thing was, I think it was slight sickness or
Right, okay.
injury. I don't know which one it was. I can't remember. But it was felt best to leave him out and get him fully fit. Get him over that. So that's we got. Looking at the team, how many we let Jarko go, striker. How many? What? Where's the depth? Again, is we got two centre forwards? Is that right?
It kind of is, isn't it? Two centre forwards who can play as a focal point, and then other forwards who are a little bit more kind of
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
behind or at the side of those two.
yeah.
But was there a specific question about Pires rather than why Ranga wasn't there, but about Pires being up front? Anything said about that?
No, it was linked to that. It
Yeah.
was
Okay.
like,
Okay.
so and the answer is that he can, as you said, he can score goals from there and he can be a threat. So
But it
so
did look it did look odd, didn't it? Like suddenly the forward line's been taken off, and we've got replacement forwards plus
yeah,
Kelvin Pires up front,
yeah.
and a head
Harry
scratcher.
Maguire.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's not unheard of.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, but it's still
It
it's a
does
bit
kind of point
surprising.
to the lack of depth in our
Yes, I
in
think
our
that's a fair
squad.
point, mate. I think that's a
So
fair point.
yeah, and I can't remember the exact conference, but question, but then there was basically why are things going like they are now? And Yarkov is very rational and oh yeah, one was the leadership. Is there because we've lost Gask
Mm,
and we lost Rasse, so
mm.
is there a lack of leadership now? And Jarko said that the leadership seems to be developing. It's coming on. It's in practice. So that's like maybe something that leaders maybe we don't have any born leaders there, but we have leaders developing.
Okay.
So
Okay,
that's
that's
that
fair.
takes something. And it's just like things seem to be kind of they're working on training, scoring goals, making things competitive. And it was a very rational answers and kind of almost, well, gave me some kind of belief that things will get better, that know what the problems are and doing something to sort out the problems. So
It's also like you say about leadership, but also experience.
yeah.
Like the experience that we've lost. And okay, Lucas Rangel's come in. He is experienced. And you know, Chuck Woody and Perez have got experience at this level and in other countries. But other than that, and Casper's been here a few years, but we are quite inexperienced still and
Mm,
young still. So
yeah.
if you lose two of your captain's team from last year, it's going to take some time to fill in there.
And we haven't got the experience of not doing well.
No,
We've got
yeah, that's
experience
that's
of
true.
when things
Yeah.
are going well. And now things aren't going well. We haven't got that kind of experience. Okay, we need to, dig in or do this or do whatever when things aren't going according to plan. So yeah.
Just looking at the stats because we did it for the Inter game, so just to compare for this game, just those same few stats, we had 67% yesterday of the possession, 435 completed passes, 83% of our passes. Oulu had at 183 and only completed 68%, which
And
is
it's different from the Inter game. The Inter game, you could say, oh, they were 2-0 up after 8 minutes. So you can say that's not, the stats there are kind of lying. But in this, it was 30 whatever minute that they
yeah,
scored.
yeah.
And, we were we were pushing for a goal for the whole time. So these are more reliable stats than the ones from the Inter game.
We had 15 shots in this game, only five on target, but five saves from the keeper. So every shot on target was saved.
Yeah.
Um,
Otherwise
by
it would have been a
that,
goal, wouldn't
by
it?
that,
I
he was a
suppose
bit
it could be
dramatic,
blocked.
wasn't
It
he?
could be blocked, I suppose. But
Yeah. No, shots on target could be blocked, but these were specifically
Yeah.
saves.
Yeah, but
Saves.
generally every shot on target is either saved or it's a goal.
Well, no, I think
Unless
blocks
it's
count.
blocked,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But their keeper was a bit flamboyant, and especially with his injuries, he was quite.
Yeah.
But then they were going down like bowling pins all
Yeah, as soon
game.
as
There
as
were
soon as they went into
people.
the 1-0 win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
funny
as soon as they
that
went
stuff.
1-0 up, then yeah.
Playing for time from the 33rd minute.
Yeah, they should have one of they should have been booked for their goal kick routine.
Yeah, yeah, and the funny thing is, one of their players was booked. There was a challenge. He went down as if he was hurt. The ref gave nothing.
Yeah.
Play on. The player stays down. Then eventually the ref came over and booked him. That was
Yeah.
hilarious. That would be
And
fair play.
also, like the ref should have been stronger. The Who was it who went off? Their defender that went off. And
Yes,
so he was on the right side of the goal and about 3 meters out. So rather than going straight off there, went across the goal to
yes,
go
he did.
off.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
And
so
then
I mean
and
that should have
actually,
been a
when he was in
card as
front of the
well.
goal, he did a little test jump as well. Like,
Yeah,
oh, I see
and it
if
looks
how
okay.
it feels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he did go off, to be fair, and the ref did then push him off the other side of the goal into off the end of the pitch. I think it was Munaka, the referee, and we've had a bit of an issue with him in the past, but I think he handled that game and those antics pretty well, really.
Yeah, he did let the it was a physical game. He let the challenges go. It was didn't blow the whistle that easily, and there was only one yellow card. So yeah, nitpicking really. Well, except for the goal. So, our goal if we were 1-0 up, but yeah, it's, I've got no problem with the referee for that
Yeah,
game.
no, 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 no. I think it's all good, and we've got coming up. Okay, so that's the games that have been played recently. Let's maybe have a look at what's coming up over the next few weeks.
Yeah, so the next home game is on Tuesday night, and it's in obviously the Finnish Cup, SJK versus SJK Academy. SJK are playing away, so Academy are at home. Oh, maybe we'll be in the orange strip then.
Maybe,
Yeah.
What do I wear? I think I might wear the gold one again, just to be as neutral as possible.
Yeah. So it's 6 o'clock kickoff, and if we win that game, which you would hope, then 3 games away from Europe.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure when the next round is played. Maybe it's well, obviously after the international break that's coming up. But um,
So that would be into the last 8. So there's like 16 teams left at the moment.
right, yeah, yeah,
So
and
I mean that's good. I mean you would expect the academy to be well, no, I suppose if you're into the 16th team, if you think that there's 12 teams in the Veikkausliiga and then top 4 of the Division 1, so they're punching their weight at the moment. So maybe a little bit above it. So well done to the academy in getting that far. And
yeah, absolutely. And then we have sorry, and the Suomen Cup has to be now our route into Europe. We
yeah,
have to we have to make we have to try and win the Suomen Cup to take that pressure off, and
yeah,
then spend the rest of the season in the league just pushing as high as we can.
yeah.
Hopefully into the top sixth by the time the table splits,
Mm,
and then we have the the Mestor Sarja, more games, more home games in that
mm,
period as well. But there's a few months between then and
yeah,
now.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean 2016 was the last time we won the cup.
Yes,
The only time we
yeah.
won the cup, last time we won something. So it would be nice to win something again, but yeah.
And then
Like a
next
game.
week, sorry, a game.
It would be nice to like
Start,
win
yeah.
something again, a
To
game.
start, to start by winning a game
Yeah.
in the league,
Yep.
and then winning a second game, and then
Yep.
you can think about competitions.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 winnable games coming up, I think, with Gnistan away on the 30th of May at 5 p.m. And then
Yes.
after the international break, then we got Lahti away on the 13th of June. So I think that, I mean, we have been playing teams in the top, well, the last 3 games have been against teams in the top 4. So now there's some chance to play some lower opposition, and hopefully, as we say, the ketchup bottle opens and we get some wins.
Yeah, I suspect we'll maybe come back after that Lahti game. Oh no, actually no, we won't. We've got our special guest coming up, so we'll be back with that, and then we'll come back after the Lahti game,
Yep.
and yeah, so we can review those next 2 games, the cup game and the Gnistan game with our guest, and then
Yep.
we'll have the international break, Lahti away. It's also worth mentioning our next home game is on Wednesday the 17th of oh
Yep.
no yeah
Of
17th
June. Yep.
of June.
And
It's
it's a
just
late one.
yeah, just before midsummer, the Johannes holiday. It's Wednesday and it kicks off at 9 p.m. Remember
Yep.
a few years ago they kicked the games off at was it at 10 o'clock, and then there was one that kicked off at midnight just for
Yeah,
the
wasn't it in
just for the fun
Tampere?
of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 This one's at 9 and it's a home game and it's against
Yeah.
Vaasa, so it'll be busy, lively, and hopefully noisy. But
Yeah.
then
I
we
hope
still got
we
to go
win it.
to
I
work
hope we
the next
win it.
day.
Come on, gotta win it. Well, you do, mate. I don't.
No, it's all me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
But, Jules, I think that just about wraps up this episode. So, listener, remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening, and that you can find the whole archive of our episodes on YouTube.
And you can contact the Seinäjoki Supporters Podcast by email at seinäjokifootballpod@gmail.com. You can find links to all our content on Linktree at Seinäjoki Football Pod.
Yeah, and we've mentioned the WhatsApp group. We've quoted people from the WhatsApp group. So if you want to join in that conversation in between episodes, it's open to any fan of Asiko. We invited someone to join us at a game a week or so ago, Tushig, and Tushig then joined the WhatsApp group. He's living here locally, and you don't have to be local, but you do have to be a fan to get in there. So no randoms. But if you want to join, go to that Linktree link. You'll find the link there to join the group, and I'll approve you coming in there.
So until the next episode, see you with the thousands of other people on Tuesday night for an SJK will win, an SJK team will win. I will see you online. Goodbye.
Yeah, hey, I'm guessing there's going to be 1,790 people there again on Tuesday, Jules.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah.
Heippa.
Goodbye.